St. Patrick's Day is less than a week away, and let's be honest, it's not uncommon for people to overindulge on the holiday. And while we hope everyone celebrates responsibly, there are some very important things that you should know before throwing a party or heading out to the bar. That's why we asked attorney David Femminino to join us to talk about a difficult but important topic. So let's start with, what are the responsibilities here? Say you're throwing a party at home, or you go out to the bar or restaurant, maybe you've had a few too many. When it comes to who's liable, especially on a, day like St. Patrick's Day, what should people know?
Well, I mean, with regard to bars, I think it's more, more common for people to go out to bars on St. Patrick's Day, it seems like. So for this type of event, it's really a reasonableness standard on the part of the bar. The bar has to act reasonably when serving alcohol, and the standard that has to be proven against a bar, if you are going to bring a lawsuit against a bar, is that we have to prove that they served a person while visibly intoxicated.
Okay.
And that's a difficult standard to prove. And think about it this way. I mean, you look at the people at the bar, and they're, these shots from the inside of the St. Patrick's Day bar. It's chaotic. Everybody looks like they're quite, like they're hammered.
Yeah.
And but think about it 6 months or a year later when the lawsuit is started. I have to prove that that person was visibly intoxicated when served. It's difficult to prove. Who's going to testify that the person was visibly intoxicated? It's not going to be the bartender. They're not going to tell on themselves. Or the waitress. So you have to rely on, you can use the person's blood alcohol content. Okay. But you also have to you have to prove that, is that blood alcohol content enough to make that individual so intoxicated that the bartender should have known. But think about the chaos at the bar. So it's difficult to do. Now, it's a different standard for homeowners who are having a party, okay? So if you're having a party at home, you have to act reasonably. And the devil's in the details with regard to the homeowner's insurance, whether or not you're covered under your social host liability portion of your... So what do
you recommend? You've got people over at your home, everybody's drinking, it's St. Patrick's Day, it's sort of, what we do on that day. Yeah. How do you cut somebody off, or what are your recommendations?
Well, if you're serving drinks, then you're more responsible and more liable. So you got to really be careful how strong you make the drinks. But I would recommend, inviting people to stay the night, or calling them a cab, doing anything but serving them extensively and then sending them home, because it's just too dangerous. It really is. And important thing to remember is that the alcohol laws do not protect the individual who is intoxicated. They protect the individual who the intoxicated person injures. So I get the call all the time at my office that I was drunk at a bar and I wrapped my car around a tree. I want to sue the bar. Well, you're the intoxicated person. You don't get that protection. It's the person who, the intoxicated person who was served while visibly intoxicated. It's the person that individual injures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great advice there. Of course, a lot of people are going to be out celebrating, and I guess the message that I'm getting from this: drink responsibly, have some water as well, and of course, just don't get on the road if you've been drinking.
Bring a friend, call a cab.
There's
use
so
Lyft.
many options.
Tons of options.
All right. Thank you so much, David.